Right now, after 3 U.S. troops were killed, President Biden orders retaliatory strikes in the Middle East. What we know at this time. Also, with a recent wave of unseasonably warm temperatures, we'll hear from a business owner who's being affected from this warm winter weather. And Dane County deputies will now have body cams as part of a new pilot program. We'll break down what it could look like. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. And thanks for joining us tonight. We begin with that breaking news. The U.S. military has started retaliatory airstrikes on Iranian-backed targets in both Iraq and Syria. That's in response to the drone strike that killed 3 U.S. service members in Jordan last weekend. President Biden ordered the strikes involving U.S. B-1 bombers. The wave of airstrikes hit about a half dozen locations. Earlier today, the remains of those 3 American service members who were killed in Jordan were returned to American soil. President Biden and the First Lady joined the families of the fallen soldiers for a solemn event. Sergeants William Rivers, Kennedy Sanders, and Breonna Moffett were all killed in that drone strike that the U.S. has blamed on an Iran-backed group. More than 40 other U.S. troops were wounded. The president paid tribute to the fallen service members.
They risked it all, and we'll never forget the sacrifices and service to our country, that the dozens of service members who were wounded and are recovering now.
In a White House statement this evening, President Biden said in part, quote, "Our response began today. It will continue at times and places of our choosing. The United States does not seek conflict in the Middle East or anywhere else in the world, but let all those who might seek to do us harm know, if you harm an American, we will respond." Turning to more local news, outside of that 1 week of extreme cold, we are seeing an unusually warm Wisconsin winter so far. And while it might be nice for some of us, our Maddie Heim spoke with one small business owner whose livelihood relies on the weather.
The alternating snowstorms and warm weather may be annoying for us, but when it comes to seasonal businesses, the irregular weather is more than just an inconvenience.
Brian Hoosier owns Bait Box on the Rock in Fort Atkinson. He told me most of his sales come from ice fishing gear, but the melting ice has cut the fishing season short.
We've really only had about a week and a half of good ice and good business. This year obviously has been a bummer.
He orders inventory months ahead of time, so irregular weather is a significant loss.
We don't have the golden, that magic 8-ball that's going to tell us, hey, you're going to have an entirely short season and don't order so much.
Hoosier says he has around $50,000 worth of inventory that he'll end up either paying for or selling at a discounted price next winter. But the financial loss isn't unique to the area. Businesses in northern Wisconsin are reporting 75 to 80% less revenue than last year's January totals, causing the Minocqua Visitors Bureau to ask officials for emergency state or federal funding.
If I can turn over this deficit and by the end of this year be even at square zero or at even, I would consider that a success.
Hoosier had to cancel his annual ice fishing event slated for next weekend. He hopes favorable spring weather will make up for his winter losses.
Reporting in Jefferson County, I'm Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
And with the recent stretch of above freezing temperatures, organizers with the Frozen Assets Festival will be canceling a number of events scheduled for this weekend. After announcing they would be canceling the Frozen Assets 5K run walk due to concern about ice safety, the Clean Lakes Alliance said today they'll also be canceling the rest of the festival's on-ice events. And that includes kites on Mendota, snowshoeing, and pond hockey. Well, let's get a look at your first warn forecast. Meteorologist Alex Harrington out on the weather patio tonight. Alex.
Yeah, Eric, it's a great evening to be out on the patio. I barely need the jacket here. We've been talking about all these warm temperatures. We've been tracking the warm temperatures for days. Even Jimmy's in alignment that warm temperatures are going to stick around. So maybe Jimmy took a look at our forecast the other day here. Temperatures are going to climb into the 40s, if not the lower 50s, by the time we get into the middle of next week. That's pushing almost 20 degrees above normal. And even as those temperatures take a tumble by the time we get to this time next weekend, there's still going to be 10 degrees above normal. We have 34 right now in Madison, 36 in Middleton. Average high temperatures for this time of year are right around 26, 27 degrees, so we're well north of that. 34 is a really popular number across southern Wisconsin. Got a couple of breaks in the skies out here on the patio. And later tonight, we could see a few more clouds build in the form of fog, but otherwise it's going to be a pleasant evening and overnight with temperatures dipping down into the upper 20s. And that dense fog potential is there overnight. for some parts of southern Wisconsin. Coming up in Maine Weather, we'll track where we can expect that dense fog to spread out over portions of southern Wisconsin. And then today, yes, is Groundhog's Day. We're going to do a flashback in Maine Weather to 2011. I'm out here on the patio, and in 2011, that patio was completely full of snow. We'll talk about the infamous Ground Day blizzard coming up.
Alex, thank you. A man was arrested this morning after police say he armed himself with a gun and banged on his neighbor's windows on the city's north side. Just after 4 a.m., officers were called to an apartment building in the 2500 block of Monterey Drive. Neighbors reported that a 30-year-old man had been banging on their windows and doors wanting to fight someone. When officers arrived, they found the man standing in the entryway of the building holding a gun. He later tried to run away. The man was taken into custody and faces charges of being armed while intoxicated and disorderly conduct. 2 people were arrested in connection to a shots fired incident that occurred near East Town Mall earlier this week. A 19-year-old man and an 18-year-old woman were arrested at a hotel in the 4800 block of East Washington yesterday. A gun was recovered during that arrest. The arrest comes days after a report of shots fired in the 2100 block of East Springs Drive. Officers found evidence of the gunshots, but not injuries or property damage. The man faces charges of being a felon in possession of a firearm and recklessly endangering safety. The woman was arrested on a probation hold. The Dane County Sheriff's Office will be the latest law enforcement agency in our area to try out body cameras. Sheriff Calvin Barrett announced the launch of a body cam pilot program this morning. Braden Ross has more on what it'll look like.
For years, people have wondered why Madison and Dane County officers don't wear body-worn cameras, but that's about to change. 32 Dane County deputies will be equipped with body-worn cameras as a part of a new pilot program. Deputies in the West District, which includes the townships of Middleton, Cross Plains, Oregon, and Verona, among others, will be the first ones testing out the cameras. Sheriff Barrett says he hopes the trial period will help his office figure out how best to use the cameras and show skeptics their value.
A lot of times there's a misconception that body-worn cameras are the end-all be-all with investigations or with police calls, but it's not. It's just an additional way to enhance our service and enhance what is happening in a situation.
Dane County joins Madison in the experiment. The city council approved a similar program in Madison last fall. Both Madison and Dane County's pilot programs are set to start sometime this year. Reporting in Madison, Braden Ross, News 3 Now.
The Sheriff's Office wants to hear from you on this. They're holding 2 listening sessions before they launch the program. Those will be February 15th and February 29th at 6 p.m. at the Town of Middleton Town Hall. Governor Evers today signed off on a 4% pay raise for building trades employees at UW-Madison and other universities of Wisconsin. The move comes roughly 2 months after the UW System Board of Regents approved a deal with Republicans in the state legislature to unlock funding for those raises. In exchange for the raises, the UW will freeze the number of diversity, equity, and inclusion positions across its schools through 2026. The busing concerns may continue for Madison families and parents for still another year. During a one-on-one sit-down with News 3 Now, Interim Superintendent Lisa Quisted said parents should plan for staggered start times to continue. Back in October, start times were moved up for more than 24 Madison schools because of an ongoing bus driver shortage.
We had to make some difficult decisions. We studied where some of the issues were. We consolidated routes. We worked with schools and principals around some best practices around transportation, but it became, unfortunately, clear to us that we needed to make a change.
She says the district will make a recommendation to the school board in April, and parents can participate in a survey ahead of time. You can see more from our interview with the superintendent this Sunday at 10:30 on For the Record. Today, U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin hosted a roundtable here in Madison on the price of some medications, specifically focusing on the impact of high asthma inhaler prices. Senator Baldwin, part of an investigation into the 4 biggest inhaler manufacturers in the U.S. The committee behind the investigation alleges they made $25 billion in profit last year, mainly touching on the staggering statistics of the prices of inhalers here compared to other countries.
If you look at the price rises year to year, it's very significant throughout the pharmaceutical industry. In terms of the price of inhalers, I think what was so remarkable in our recent inquiries is just the difference between what is being charged here in the U.S. and what is being charged overseas. It is a dramatic, dramatic difference.
Inhaler prices range between $200 and $600, while overseas they are significantly less. costing under $100. Democrats are holding their first official primary in South Carolina tomorrow. Although President Biden is expected to win big, the state marks a key test for Democrats as they prepare for the general election. Both President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris have made multiple trips to the state in recent weeks. Julia Benbrook explains why this state is so important.
The Democratic National Committee changed its order of primaries to diversify early voting states, putting South Carolina in the first position this year.
I told you all that you could launch a candidacy. You launched Bill Clinton, Barack Obama to the presidency. Now you launched our campaign on the path to defeating Donald Trump.
President Joe Biden's 2020 primary win in the Palmetto State marked a key moment in that election.
He swept all, 46 counties there in South Carolina. And it was after some of the early states where he didn't have as much strength.
Support from the Black community and a key endorsement from Representative James Clyburn, who is supporting Biden again, helped catapult him to victory 4 years ago.
Joe Biden saw that we needed enlightened leadership.
Biden is now hoping the state will energize his re-election campaign as he prepares for a possible rematch in November.
You're the reason we're going to win and beat him again.
Biden is expected to walk away with a big win on Saturday, but it's also a crucial test. Polls and Democratic focus groups show that many Black voters feel disengaged and disenchanted with the political process right now.
Investigators in Clearwater, Florida, are trying to figure out what caused a small plane to crash into several mobile homes last night. Officials say the pilot and 2 people on the ground died. Cell phone video caught the moments immediately after that plane crashed. Flight reports show the Beechcraft 35 Bonanza left from Vero Beach Regional on the other side of the state just after 6 p.m. en route to Clearwater Air Park. But less than an hour after takeoff, the pilot reported engine failure and made a mayday call. The NTSB still looking into what led the pilot to make that call, and the victims of the victims, their identities have yet to be released. Well, today, the acting community is mourning. Actor Carl Weathers, who rose to fame as Apollo Creed in the Rocky movies, has died. His manager says Weathers died peacefully at home yesterday. No cause of death was given. Carl Weathers was a former pro football player who had never boxed before when he auditioned for Rocky. In addition to his role in the Oscar-winning film as Apollo Creed, he appeared in dozens of movies and TV shows, including Happy Gilmore, Predator, and The Mandalorian. Carl Weathers was 76 years old. Still ahead at 5, Alex is back. Another complete check of your forecast. And all eyes are on Jimmy the Groundhog this morning in Sun Prairie. Will it be an early spring? The answer coming up next. And on Wall Street, the Dow closes the week with a new record high, up 135 points to 38,654. The Nasdaq jumps 267 points. The S&P also closes at a record high, up 52 to 49.58. And we'll be right back.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's big pet care sale is going on now, and that means huge savings on the food, treats, and supplies you need to help keep your pets happy and healthy. Right now, get a free $15 Blaine's gift card when you spend $75 on Purina Pro Plan dog or cat food. Pro Plan uses advanced nutrition to create targeted formulas that help your unique pets thrive as they age and develop. So shop our assortment today and find the right Pro Plan formula for your dog or cat at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
It's the annual RV show and sale you don't want to miss at Interstate RV, February 2nd through the 4th. Great RV show pricing just up the road. Highway 51, Poinet.
Your logo can identify your company, inspire your customers, and energize your team. We're 4imprint, and we can help your logo create moments that matter. Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Imagine trying to take on one of the big car companies. It's not easy. Yet this year, one local law firm finalized the largest compensatory verdict in state history against an automaker, over $38 million. And it was no fluke. That same firm has been holding big car companies accountable for faulty designs that cause injury for over 50 years. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
Sockbury Healthcare is here to help. To help with your shoulder pain,
your knee injury,
that hip that bothers you,
with your foot or ankle pain.
We focus on quality.
We focus on results.
And take time to listen.
So that your care is the best care. for you.
You. For you. We're here for you.
Sauk Prairie Healthcare Orthopedics. Listening, healing, caring. It's in our nature.
It's Auto Show. The deals start now, and so should you. Get started on your next Ford SUV. Like an adventure-ready Bronco or Bronco Sports. Escape to take on the everyday. Or Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. Get here to your Ford dealer. It's Auto Show. The deals start now, and so should you. During Auto Show, choose Flex Buy on Explorer or Bronco Sport with 1.9% APR financing for 66 months plus $2,000 Flex Buy cash.
First warn weather, keeping you ahead of the storms.
Dane County deputies will now have body cameras as part of a new pilot program. Check out the potential impact on transparency and community relations. Plus, we have insight into Madison Police Department's progress with their body camera program. That's tonight at 6.
Sunday after the Grammy Awards, this year's Grammy nominees will get a Southern Wisconsin surprise in their gift bags. Get a look at these hair pieces. They're from a Janesville company looking to forge new style standards for men. Sunday on News 3 Now at 10.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
I therefore proclaim we will have early spring. Hooray!
Well, there you heard it. Jimmy the Groundhog making his official prognostication this morning in Sun Prairie. It will be an early start to spring after the overcast skies meant he did not see his shadow. The prediction comes after Jimmy saw a shadow last year. But back in 21 and 22, he did predict an early start to spring both years. Over 500 people attended this morning's event, continuing to grow year in and year out. And for attendees, it's not just limited to the event. They can get a full glimpse of all that Sun Prairie has to offer.
We do encourage people to stay after the celebration, is to go and check out some of the local businesses. They have special deals going on. And so there's something for everyone here, and to go and explore downtown Sun Prairie.
This morning's event marked the 76th annual Groundhog Day celebration in Sun Prairie. Officials there say Jimmy is never wrong. So if the prediction ends up not coming to fruition, the message was simply lost in translation when he passed it along to the mayor. A live look at our roads right now. After being blessed with some sunshine the last 2 days, a little chillier, a little more clouds out there today. That won't last too long. The unseasonably mild temperatures remain in the forecast. Let's get a look now with meteorologist Alex Harrington as we head for the weekend. Alex.
Eric, when you think of the temperatures in the 30s and you're thinking, it's a little bit cooler, that's actually still almost 10 degrees above normal. Isn't that crazy? And we've got temperatures that are going to be even warmer as we go out into next week. We've got the 40s, the 50s are going to make a return, little fog tonight, and then still eyeing up rain chances, not snow chances, rain chances in the future. 34 in Madison, 35 in Middleton, 35 in Belleville. Zooming on out across the rest of southern Wisconsin, lower to middle, if not upper 30s. We're still hanging on to 36 degrees right now in Boscoville. So if you're going to plan that evening, well, how can you dress here? Well, dress in that light winter clothing out there. It's not very breezy. Skies are starting to see a couple of peaks of the moon out there now, with temperatures dipping down into the upper 20s. That's our normal high temperatures for this time of year. We will see the potential for some travel impacts as we go on into the overnight. We could be looking at a little bit of patchy fog developing across the area, and we can use our future track visibility model to take a look and see that evolve over nighttime tonight as we go towards 12, Madison, Mineral Point, Platteville, the Dells. You could be looking at some reduced visibilities. It becomes a little bit more widespread as we head towards 6 o'clock in the morning, where we could again see some localized reduction in the visibility with this dense fog. I'll be here tonight at 10 o'clock to see if we do get any dense fog advisories issued. But the good news is by the time we get to noon on your Saturday, that dense fog disperses, it gets burned off, and then we see those temperatures rebound with the sunny conditions that are expected. Just look at these temperature swings. On January 20th, we had a high of 14. That is 13 degrees below normal. Now, when you march forward all the way over here to yesterday, the 1st of February, 44 degrees. That's 17 degrees above normal just over this very short period of time. And as we carry out into the future, the likelihood of us seeing above normal temperatures, it's up there, it's high, going clear out into the middle, even heading towards the latter portion February. Again, I said 40s are in the forecast, and we got 50s Wednesday and Thursday. This will be near record warm temperatures during the day and at nighttime. Our normal high temperatures, again, are in the upper 20s, right around 30 this year. Thanks, David from Janesville, showing us this filtered moon picture. Might see a little bit of the filtering of the moon tonight with still some of those remnant clouds and some of that dense fog. But let's flash back here. Look at this as we go into 2011. So this is 13 years ago. I was just out on the patio. This is our patio completely covered with snow from a 3-day snow event that occurred on these dates back in 2011. You might be remembering this, or maybe you don't want to remember it because it was quite the hefty of a winter storm here. Over the course of 3 days, we had 18.7 inches of snow in Madison. You add the winds of 40 to 60 miles per hour. That makes those winter storms we had just a couple weeks ago look pretty tame compared to this 3-day event where we had snow drifts of 6 to 15 feet there, folks. That Groundhog Day blizzard was definitely something to remember, but the good news in this forecast, there's nothing in the winter department anytime soon in the next 7 to 10 days.
Alex, thank you. And coming up next at 5, as Super Bowl 58 gets closer and closer, you might want to get an estimate on how much you'll have to spend on your snacks this year. The latest numbers, that and more next. Newsroom.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Save big money with these hot deals at Menards. All prices after rebate. Complete your projects with this flexible putty knife. Free after rebate. This kitchen faucet is only $39.99. Plus, a bottle of wood glue is $2.99. Get to work with this LED shop light. Only $5.99. These hot deals won't last long. Hurry before time runs out. Sign up for Menards emails to get more hot deals. Plus, the weekly flyer right to your inbox.
Save big money at Menards.
This right here is confidence in a bottle.
Not only does it change you on the outside, but something in the inside, knowing that you're looking better.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my life.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes, and as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real, it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under eye bags, and let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view, and now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. He calls me every single month saying, "Hey, Annette, I'm out of Plexiderm, please send me more." And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. The way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
This Valentine's Day is the best time to try Plexiderm at our startup price of only $14.95. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison Readers Poll for 2024. Nominate the Best of Madison online today, including Beef Butter Barbecue for Best Barbecue, Best Catering. Cast a nomination for Beef Butter Barbecue and all your favorites on MadisonMagazine.com.
Experience the Channel 3000 News app today. Enjoy a website-like layout and swipe through articles without returning to the home screen. Download the Channel 3000 News app, powered by News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
The Labor Department says U.S. employers added a stunning 353,000 jobs during the first month of the year, and the overall unemployment rate remains steady in January. Karen Kafa is in Washington to break down who's hiring and who's not.
The labor market booming to start 2024. U.S. employers added 353,000 jobs in January, according to the Labor Department. The unemployment rate held steady for a third consecutive month at 3.7%.
It looks like this economy, this job market in any event, is holding very, very strong.
Professional and business services leading the way in January, adding 74,000 jobs. Healthcare adding 70,000 jobs. And the retail sector adding 45,000 jobs, a reflection of consumer confidence and shoppers willing to head out and spend, even as interest rates remain at a 23-year high amid the Federal Reserve's efforts to tame inflation. On Wednesday, Chairman Jerome Powell said the Fed still needs more data before they cut rates.
We're looking for greater confidence that inflation is moving sustainably down to 2%. Implicitly, we do have confidence and it has been increasing, but we want to get greater confidence. What do we want to see? We want to see more good data.
A report from outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas released Thursday did note a jump in January layoffs, led by the tech and finance sectors. But overall, a separate report from the Labor Department this week found more than 9 million job openings for U.S. job seekers in December.
Well, it's time to start planning the menu for the big Super Bowl party because the big game now just 9 days away. According to a new Wells Fargo report, some big ticket game day dish ingredients will cost less than they did a year ago. Right now, a pound of fresh chicken wings costs 5% less than the same time a year ago. Frozen wings cost 11% less. Shrimp prices on average are down 6.4%. But steak and beef prices, as you probably know, are a bit higher. Apple CEO Tim Cook welcomed customers waiting to get into the company's flagship store in the Big Apple for the release of Apple's first new product in 7 years. It's the Vision Pro. It's a mixed reality headset that went on sale at Apple stores all across the country today. About 200 lined up in New York City ahead of the launch. There you see Cook opening the door. He welcomed them in, shook hands, took selfies with the employees and customers as the employees cheered. Inside, Cook signed autographs and chatted with the crowd as customers got demos of these headsets. Cook calls the headsets the most advanced consumer electronics device ever created. The price tag, nearly $3,500 without accessories. And we're back with a final check of your First Warn forecast after a short break.
Want to instantly look more attractive, years younger, and even healthier? The solution is whiter teeth. Even teeth that are just a little yellow are a problem. They rob your appearance, make you look older, and can hurt your confidence. But you love coffee and tea, maybe even wine or smoking, and all of them stain your teeth and make them yellow. It's time you discovered Power Swabs, the fast 5-minute revolutionary treatment.
The first time I tried it, I was so surprised. My husband was so excited that he wanted to run out and get it. He said, "What have you been trying?" I said, "Well, I've tried this product called Power Swab." And he said, "I can't believe how white your teeth are." So from that point on, I've been sold.
My absolute favorite thing was how easy it was. It takes literally less than 5 minutes.
Power Swabs has made a really big difference in lifting the stains and making my smile more beautiful.
Power Swabs are guaranteed to whiten your teeth up to 2 shades after the first application. And after 5-minute daily treatments for the next week, your teeth will be an average of 6 shades whiter. Plus, unlike other whitening methods, Power Swabs will whiten natural teeth and remove stains from veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns. Power Swabs are easier on your gums and cause less sensitivity.
I've used strips and trays, and they both gave me really sensitive teeth. With the Power Swabs, I've been using them for a week and nothing. I had hot coffee this morning and ice cream last night and no problems.
It's time to discover what you've been missing. Now, it's your turn to get started with Power Swabs.
I like my smile. I like my smile after finishing the Power Swabs.
This is a Power Swab smile.
This is a Power Swab smile.
This is a Power Swab smile.
Call, go online, or scan the code on your screen right now to receive 50% off this Valentine's Day. You'll also receive the Power Swabs Stain Out Quick Stick, absolutely free. And in addition, you will also get free shipping. Order right now and take the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge. If your teeth aren't a full 2 shades whiter after your first application, simply return it and you'll get your money back.
It's the annual RV show and sale you don't want to miss at Interstate RV, February 2nd through the 4th. Great RV show pricing just up the road. Highway 51, Poinette.
Now is the best time to buy new Champion windows, because when you buy 2, you get 2 free.
Hurry, Champion's Buy 2, Get 2 free sale is for a limited time.
That's a great deal. Thanks.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll get right to the point. It's the President's Day Super Sale at Denver Mattress.
Madam President, what's that mean for the average American?
It means saving $100 off every $1,000 you spend.
And Tempur-Pedic?
With bipartisan support, we've allocated a $300 gift with the purchase of any Tempur-Pedic.
And how will the people pay for these so-called savings?
Try 6 years, no interest, and free shipping. The President's Day Super Sale, on now at Denver Mattress.
Watch News 3 Now at 6 with Eric, Charlotte, Gary, and Zach, weeknights.
Coming up tonight here on the CBS Evening News, the breaking news, the U.S. launching a series of retaliatory strikes in Iraq and Syria in response to that deadly drone attack that killed 3 U.S. soldiers. Plus, the solemn scene today as the bodies of those fallen U.S. soldiers return home. Those headlines and much more tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And coming up tonight at 6, could parts of your brain soon be fresh off the printing press? How scientists at UW say their 3D printed brain tissue could change how we understand and treat certain nerve disorders. We mentioned Jimmy earlier in the show. Well, it might be time for the groundhogs to take a back seat this year. This was the Milwaukee County Zoo. The Humboldt Penguins took over the role of forecaster. Much like Jimmy, the Penguins did not see their shadows, meaning we can look forward to an early spring. Do you guys feel slighted on this day when they just roll out all these random animals, penguins, whatever? They think they can do your job. It's not that easy.
Well, you've heard me all evening saying I think they're just copying our forecast.
They are.
Right?
They've just been watching us. It's obvious. It's obvious, right?
Yeah, definitely a warm period though ahead for us. Some folks, they don't appreciate the warm weather. There are other folks that do. We're here for you all though, folks. We get it. We do have a warm period ahead, but first, real quick, take a look at a crash at exit 265. If you're heading eastbound on the Beltline, traffic is very, very slow right now at this point in time. And a little bit later tonight, Eric, we're going to be looking at the potential for some patchy fog overnight tonight. But then after that, look at the temperature soar. 40s and 50s.
All right, we're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. CBS Evening News is next. Stay tuned.